Sometimes it's easy to find, sometimes it's not. And I'll give you a brief example here. From an idea to a proposal. So, and I make it short, but I make it as a sort of fictitious one. Let us assume that you have a clear idea of what you want to do. You have an idea. You want to do it as a collaborative project. You may also have decided, is it a research and innovation action or just an innovation action, whatever. But you have a good idea. You don't have a partner. You don't know if it fits. What do you do? I'll give you a brief example. Imagine this fictitious example. Imagine that I'm a professor at a university department for software development for cloud applications. Quite a standard thing nowadays. What I want to develop is a portable device for security clearance in a wide range of application scenarios, ideally usable worldwide and based on secure cloud servers. In other words, something like this, a little device that I carry with me. Whenever I go to an airport, it picks up the signal. It knows it's me, and I go to the fast lane. If I have to go to sort of more secure public buildings, I will have no problem. They pick me up. Even if I go to an airport outside my country, in the future, they would pick it up. Security at airports would be easy. Now, sounds nice. If it's realistic, it's a different topic area. We don't discuss that. But this is my secure access thing. Now, can I do this in Horizon 2020? And of course, I don't want this as a mobile app. I want this with a device that is really coupled to me. If I lose it, nobody can use it. For example, iris scan. But now again, I just read iris scan is anything but secure. But let's assume that. Usually, smartphones don't have it yet. It will have very soon. So something like this. Can I do it? So how do I find a call for this idea? Either I have a pretty good view of the different work programs in enabling technologies or societal challenges. I say, oh, I know them, should be there. This is very unlikely. There are about a dozen work programs with about 100 pages each, some of them even longer. We talk about 1,200, 1,500 pages of work programs. No chance I have an idea what's in there. So this is not the right approach. I use the Horizon 2020 call pages to find out. There is a search facility. And this is now what I'm going to show you, because this is a practical thing. You go again to the participant portal. Under funding opportunities. So, and once you click on the funding opportunities, you go to calls, because that's what you're interested in. And here you can see here all calls. That doesn't help because you don't know which one. So you go to this part, which calls search topic page. So you have a topic and you search for it. So the search topic page, you can either use a number of these options here, or you can go to free text search, because again, you don't know what you're looking for. Free text search. And finally, you arrive at free text search. Oops, the red thing should be around this. And you type in security access cloud. Well, these are keywords sort of matching your idea. And you say, I only want, what happened to my circles here? Okay, Horizon 2020 topics. Nothing else. I don't want FP7 reference documents. I want Horizon 2020 topics for these 3 keywords. And then you get 3 pages of text. 1, 2, 3. You look at them. The first one you'll find out is completely wrong, but you go through and, 3 pages of results is not that difficult. But you go through them, and so majority of these findings is not really what you want. So you need to do a different search. For example, you use keywords like access and control. And with some patients, and much less effort than going through all the work programs, you'll find a number of interesting calls. For example, not surprisingly, you find, this is from the first work program, you find 3 ICT calls. We were talking about ICT, aren't we? And you look at them and say, poof, no. I'm not doing advanced cloud infrastructures. I don't want to boost public sector productivity. And tools and methods for software development in cloud, no, this is not what I want. I want the security device. And cloud computing, including security aspect, this call is collaboration with Brazil. I'm not interested with Brazil. So ICT work program doesn't give me anything. But what you find is, in societal challenge and secure societies, there you get the list of a number of calls under digital security. And there is one, the DS2 from 2014, which is called access control. So brilliant. That's the one. Now, you look at the text. It's an innovation action. Funding is between 3 and 8. What the Commission does in the call text, it describes what they are expecting from a proposal. And at the end, they say, we estimate that the amount of 3 million euros is adequate. But, I mean, you can suggest whatever you want. It's always this phrase. It gives you, the important thing is, it gives you an idea of the size of the project the Commission has in mind. So if they say, we think 8 million is a good, you know, this is not a small project. And if you submit a project for 1 million instead of 8, no chance. So they want something big. Here, unfortunately, they said between 3 and 8. It's a wide area. You already have the feeling it's a big one. Okay. This is the only information you have. And now the next steps are, and this is independent of whatever you find, you analyze the call text. You break it down into the main elements. You group the elements into work packages and identify afterwards the profile of potential partners that you need. I'm not going through all these steps, but the most important one is, we're lucky, the text is very short. This is the entire text that the Commission published for this call. You read this text, and when you read it, you say, yep. I'm not going through the details now. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious. Sometimes you find formulations, and this is one sentence I have to read to you. It's the last one. Proposed work could assist the objective of implementing a secure information sharing network. You say, what does this mean? It could assist the objective. Does it mean I have to do something? Is it completely open? What is it? It's a very strange way of expressing things. And quite often you find these sentences where you say, what the hell does it mean? And you can read this sentence 3 times. It doesn't really make sense. The only thing you know here is that they talk about an information sharing network, but what you really should do is unclear. Anyway, you read this once or twice, and then try to highlight the keywords, what you think are important keywords. And these are the ones that I put here in red. Keywords are definitely development and testing. When the call says development and testing, you have to do it. It's not just development. That means there's a specific emphasis on testing. They talk about access control platforms. Now, platform is something else than just a device. A device is not a platform. So you have to think in broader terms, access control platform. It may fit to this idea of the security device, because in the end what you want is a security device system, but in terms of a platform. You would allow other manufacturers to build their own little device, of course linked to the same platform. Biometric, smart cards, other devices, how do you want to make sure that this is a secure device? And so on, a tested and broadband network, and so on. So this is the notes you make. Now, the next point is, each call text has the section, the final section, expected impact. And this, I mentioned it when I talked about the evaluation. The expected impact is a crucial part of your proposal. If that doesn't work out, then you're lost, especially if you have an innovation action. And here the Commission says, action supported under this objective will deliver secure but user-friendly access ICT systems, and so on. And now, again, the last sentence under the expected impact. The proposed solutions are expected to support the creation of commercial services making use of electronic identification authentication. Remember this funny sentence in the main call text? We weren't quite sure what do they mean. And the expected impact is absolutely clear. Support the creation of commercial services. So now you know what you have to do. Not just could assist the objective of, no, they said create commercial services. You do exactly the same under impact. You highlight the main points because the expected impact gives you sometimes clearer ideas, in this example, not always, about the challenge that they describe. So, and then out of these different highlighted words, you can group them. And you do a grouping by saying, okay, one activity or work package is device development. Another one is testing the smart device. And testing is a major task, usually. Access right management. You have to manage access rights. You group this into a work package. Secured cloud databases is one of the topics you found here. You group all those aspects in another one. Interoperability, the call text asks for interoperability. And finally, for this commercialization, you have a work package business plan. So immediately you have a structure, and you have an operational structure in terms of work plans. They may change later on, but at least you have grouped it, you can focus your mind, and more important, you now have a better basis to discuss with the potential partner. If you just have the call text and you meet somebody and said, you're interested in this, to do something together, and you would say, yeah, what aspects? You would go back to the call text and say, maybe access to smart services, or maybe portability. It's much easier to say, let's discuss on a first breakdown of work packages, device development. Now, and this now, for yourself, tells you what you need. Remember, in this example, I said, I'm the software professor at university. I'm dealing with secure cloud databases. Fine. But I certainly need somebody to do device development. I can't do this. I need a partner experienced in hardware or microsystems. Testing of smart services. It's not for me as a software professor. I need a service provider that is prepared to test this thing on his network. Secure software development. Okay, maybe I could do this, but I think I'm more familiar with secure cloud databases. So I probably get another partner to deal with secure software development. Interoperability. I need more service providers. So one service provider is not enough. Maybe in different countries. We talk about a European project. Maybe 3 different service providers. And test the system there and test the interoperability. And for the business plan, I need something like an IT solution provider. I mean, somebody who would like to take the results, if everything works, over and commercialize it. I can't commercialize it. I'm university. My hardware partner is probably not interested in commercializing such a service. Service providers, depending to whom I talk to, maybe they say, no, we provide networks. I mean, Turk Telecom would say, we provide the network, but I mean, we're not providing a secure service. I mean, this is not our task, like this whole device. So IT solution provider, whatever. The main point is, with a relatively small amount of work, just reading and thinking and grouping elements, you come to a simple structure which you can use as a basis for discussion with partners. It has just helped you to focus your mind based on the call text and, of course, what you want on the call text and the expected impact. So that is the first essential step. And you can apply this very simple scheme for basic any call. Okay, there are calls which are much more complex, but the majority of calls is relatively short. You have some calls in the ICT field which go over 3 or 4 pages with lots of different options, so you spend more time on that. But apart from that, if you look at the typical call in societal challenges, they are 1 page, maximum 1.5. So it's not that much text. But it's the understanding of the text. And the only word and severe word of warning I can give, don't read the text and say, I know what they mean. No, you don't, no matter how much experience you have. After one reading, you don't know what the Commission means. You have to read several times, and you have to read the expected impact. That clarifies quite often the text of the main call.